It is a big fight. You're heading over to Brazil to take on a streaking lightweight. Another super tough fight. So credit to you. I mean, you go from an undefeated prospect like Gregor Gillespie to a guy that nobody's really wanted to fight, right? Like, this is the guy that's been begging for a top ranked lightweight, and here you are heading to his home country. How did this fight come about?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it was. Honestly, I did have to take a little bit of convincing in order to take it. Just because Oliveira is hot and cold, but I feel like he's in the prime of his career right now. You know, he's 30 years old. I think he just had a daughter too, so you know that kind of gave him an extra little bit of fire. And then if you look at his last two fights, especially, I mean, he's on like a crazy 6-fight win streak. But you look at his last two fights, like he's really he's really stepping up, and he really I think hit another little stride in his career. So for me, I got to go out there and I got to take that momentum away from him. You know, I got to keep beating these guys that nobody else wants to fight, and it's the harder, longer route in a career, but you know, it's something I'm doing.
Now, I know like the Islam Makhachev fight is something that you wanted, and I heard you in the recent interview on ESPN saying that the UFC didn't want to put this fight together.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much what it was. You know, the fight wasn't big enough for them yet. You know, they kind of sold me on the idea of going over to Russia and fighting the man in June. So when they said that, I'm like, okay, I could see that. That's something that really interests me. But I'm not gonna sit and wait until June. So Oliveira was looking for an opponent in the meantime. I'm looking for an opponent in the meantime. So we go ahead and make it happen first.
So they didn't. The only reason, the only way they would have done this fight, like they would have been sold on you and Islam, is if you went over to Russia. I know there's the Brooklyn card that Habib is fighting on. That's what you wanted. Why was that not an option for them, in your opinion?
I think they saw that card was already finished. They got Khabib, they got Rose Namajunas. For me, I was like, hey, let's make this a mega event. You got Khabib, Namajunas, and then me versus Islam. Like it's gonna push that pay-per-view into the next little level. But you know, I think that they look at it and they're like, okay, we want that fight to be even bigger. You know, we want it to be in Russia, and it makes some sense there, especially for us to headline that. So they kind of sold me on it, to be honest with you. And I was like, okay, well, if I ain't looking at Brooklyn, then you know, let me have Brazil.
And I know you're not on social media much, but did you see like Islam had some things to say? I don't know if he deleted it because I haven't seen it recently, but he did kind of comment.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah, a little bit. But look, he can say what he wants to. Either way, we still gonna have our date in June. That was one of the stipulations behind me taking this fight against Oliveira, is that after this one, I for sure get Islam, and they can't hide him from me no more. You know, they was talking about, oh, he ain't experienced enough yet to fight you. You know, he need a little more time to get ready, and all these little back and forths. And now I'm like, you know, hey, if I do this one against Charles, I for sure one of my bonuses for this is to get to fight Islam. So basically, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to sign two bout agreements. You know, I'm trying to sign this one and then sign the one in June too. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever done that in the UFC, but the rules is made to be broken. Yeah, I'm not entirely. I don't really know if it's for sure in Moscow, but I do know that it's June in Russia. And I ain't really asked all the details or anything like that. I'm like, yeah, Russia, all right, boom, we going to war? Okay, fine, let's go to war. But no, I don't know all the details yet, to be honest with you.
So, like, if this goes fine, I mean, you're going to Brazil to take an Oliveira, then Islam, and in Russia. Is this kind of like a new thing that you're going doing, like going to enemy territory? I know you did it back not a couple years ago. You went to Brazil to fight Trinaldo, so you've kind of experienced the Brazilian crowd. But is this kind of a new thing to do the things that nobody else in the lightweight division is doing? Like kind of those, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that my career. It's the way that I've always kind of had my career. To be honest with you, you know, even in the last fight, having to fight Gregory over in New York, it's kind of I've always had to take the longer route to and put in twice as much work as the next guy in order to get to where I'm going, and that's just something that I've kind of accepted at this point, I guess. It's kind of always been that. I always had to be the one to go into to enemy territory and fight their guy, and I'm kind of accepting that. That's my value as a fighter. So that's how it is, and I'm cool with it.
That's pretty crazy. You're 27. I think people forget how young you are. When you look at this matchup with Oliveira, stylistically, does it excite you? You're a very strong grappler. He's got great jiu-jitsu. The way the fans are imagining, it's a very exciting matchup on paper as well.
Yeah, it's a good fight, especially with like I said, the way his last two fights have gone. And he's got like two really good knockout wins. Yeah. He showed he can kind of do it all. So I feel like it's definitely going to be one of the fights that elevate me. I don't think he's ready for this level yet. I don't think he's fought to this level yet. Especially in a main event like this. So I feel like those are a couple things that stack in my corner. But overall, I think we match up real good, and it's going to be a good fight.
And does it excite you to go back over to Brazil and face the hostile crowd? Like I said, you've done it before and you were successful against Ronaldo.
I mean, yeah, I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't something there for me. I do like to play spoiler. I'm gonna make sure I shut up all them Brazilians, and that arena gonna be real quiet at the end of the night. And sometimes that's what I like to do. I like to steal a little bit of thunder. I feel like I shut down Madison Square Garden in my last fight. This one I'm gonna shut down this arena too.
And did you feel that after your last win over Gillespie, just because a lot of people were surprised about you taking the matchup, they gave you props, but then the way the fight panned out, the great knockout and everything, do you feel like people are starting to show you a little bit more respect? Because you do get a little bit of stick because you're outspoken and you speak, you say what you feel. But do you feel like a sense that people are really rallying behind you now? Did you get that feel after the Gillespie win?
A little bit, but no, to be honest, not yet. That's why I got to do this one again to really remind people. I still feel like I'm X'd out of a lot of conversations that's being had, especially around the lightweight title. Like it could be even Tony or getting ready to fight for it, but that's my title, and I got to go out there and I got to keep proving it to people. And so yeah, I feel like I'm a little X'd out of certain conversations that should be happening, but I'm gonna come out the back end and they can't stop me. So, yeah, am I getting a little bit more respect? Okay. But nah, not really. Not yet.
And I know you've been asked about the Khabib-Tony fight numerous times, but are you one of the guys that feels like that fight is not going to happen? Like Conor was saying that he really doesn't feel like this fight's going to happen. Someone's going to pull out. Do you feel the same way, or do you feel like the fifth time's finally going to be the charm?
No, I think it's got to happen. I think they're going to do, even for them too. I think they're gonna try and make everything happen to make sure that fight happens for sure. So I'm kind of banking on it happening. I wanted this fight, like I said, I wanted to fight on the undercard of that one. But I'll still be in attendance. I'm gonna still watch that fight. It's gonna be a damn good one.
Oh, so your plan is to go out there and watch it live, like be there?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'll be there in the building. I'll ask a few questions myself. And I'm gonna get some answers. That's for sure.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know it's been a super busy day. So I'll leave you with one last one. Do you envision a way this fight with Oliveira pans out? Do you have a prediction?
I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I'm gonna come up. I'm headed over to TriStar in a few days, and we're gonna come up with a great game plan, and we're gonna go out there and put it on him. I don't feel like he is as well-rounded as me. He is very well-rounded, but not as much as I am. So I'm gonna prove again that I'm the most well-rounded lightweight, and I'm coming for that title. So, however it get done, I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna stand on the feet and beat him up, and I'm gonna take away all his truth.